Welcome to our comprehensive module on regulatory affairs and intellectual property rights. In this video, we will explore the global landscape of generic product registration, requirements for various markets, and key regulatory guidelines. We'll also cover dossier preparation, submission, and the role of bioavailability bioequivalence studies. Let's get started. Registering generic products involves navigating a complex global regulatory landscape. Here's a high-level overview of how generic products are registered in different regions. United States. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration, FDA, regulates generic drugs through the abbreviated New Drug Application (ANDA) process. Generic products must demonstrate bioequivalence to the reference-listed drug. European Union. In Europe, generic drugs are submitted through a common technical document (CTD) format, and dossiers are reviewed by national authorities or the European Medicines Agency, EMA, for approval. Australia, the Therapeutic Goods Administration, TGA, oversees generic drug registration in Australia. Generic drug submissions are assessed based on their similarity to existing approved products. South Africa, the South African Health Products Regulatory Authority, SAHPRA, handles the registration of generic drugs, requiring data to demonstrate equivalence to existing products. Canada generic products are approved through a new drug submission, NDS process, where they must show that they are bioequivalent to the reference drug. Each region has specific requirements for the registration and approval of generic products, USFDA, ANDA, bioequivalence. Demonstrate that the generic drug is bioequivalent to the reference drug in terms of absorption and therapeutic effect. Stability data. Provide data showing that the drug maintains its quality over its shelf life. Labeling. Submit labeling that matches the reference product, with any approved differences. EU/AU/SA, dossier, common technical document, CTD. Prepare the submission in a CTD format including Module 1, regional requirements, Module 2, summaries, Module 3, quality, Module 4, non-clinical, and Module 5, clinical. Quality data. Provide comprehensive data on the drug's quality, including formulation, manufacturing processes, and controls. Clinical data. Include clinical data demonstrating safety and efficacy in comparison to the reference drug, TPD, ANDS, application. Submit an abbreviated new drug submission, ANDS, with comprehensive data supporting the equivalence to the reference drug. Technical data. Provide detailed technical and clinical data supporting the drug's efficacy and safety. The International Council for Harmonization of Technical Requirements for Pharmaceuticals for Human Use, ICH, provides guidelines to harmonize regulatory requirements across regions. ICH guidelines, quality guidelines on the quality aspects of drug substances and products including stability, manufacturing, and control. Safety guidelines on preclinical safety assessment and pharmacovigilance. Efficacy, guidelines on clinical trial design, statistical analysis, and clinical data requirements. Multidisciplinary guidelines on topics such as electronic standards and quality management systems. Adhering to ICH guidelines ensures that drug development and registration processes meet international standards, facilitating global market entry. Pharmaceutical registration involves a detailed process to gain market authorization. Domestic registration, national regulatory authorities. Each country has its regulatory body that oversees the approval process for new drugs and generics. This includes submitting data on safety, efficacy, and quality. Regulated markets and a USFDA. As previously mentioned, this involves proving bioequivalence to the reference drug. DMF, Drug Master File. Submitting a DMF provides detailed information about the drug substance, drug product, or manufacturing process to support regulatory submissions. eCTD, Electronic Common Technical Document, a standardized format for submitting regulatory documents electronically, streamlining the approval process. Global registration. For international markets, the registration process may involve additional regional requirements and collaborative efforts with local regulatory authorities. Bioavailability (BA) and bioequivalence (BE) studies are crucial for demonstrating that a generic product performs similarly to the reference drug. Bioavailability (BA) studies purpose. to measure the rate and extent of drug absorption into the bloodstream. Design, typically conducted in healthy volunteers or patients, using various analytical techniques to measure drug concentrations. Bioequivalence, B, studies, purpose, to compare the generic product with the reference drug to ensure similar therapeutic effects. Design includes single-dose or multiple-dose studies depending on the drug's formulation and intended use. Clinical research organizations, CROs, CROs assist in conducting VA/B studies, managing clinical trials, and providing regulatory consulting services. Selection. Choosing a reputable CRO with expertise in the specific therapeutic area and study design is crucial for successful study execution. Preparing, submitting, and maintaining regulatory dossiers is a critical part of the drug development and approval process. Dossier preparation, documentation. Compile comprehensive data including quality, non-clinical, clinical, and regulatory information. Formatting, prepare the dossier in the required format, such as the CTD or regional formats, based on the target market. Submission, electronic submission. Utilize eCTD for submitting regulatory documents electronically to streamline the review process. Regional requirements. Ensure that submissions meet specific regional requirements such as the FDA's ANDA or the EMA's MAA. Approval review process. Regulatory authorities review the submission, which may include additional requests for information or clarification. Licensing. Once approved, the drug is granted marketing authorization, allowing it to be sold in the market. Maintenance, post-approval updates. Regularly update the dossier with any changes in formulation, manufacturing processes, or labeling. Compliance. Monitor and ensure ongoing compliance with regulatory requirements, including post-market surveillance and reporting. In this module, we've explored the essential aspects of regulatory affairs and intellectual property rights, focusing on the registration of generic products, regulatory requirements, and dossier management. Understanding these processes is crucial for successfully navigating the pharmaceutical regulatory landscape and ensuring that new products are safely and effectively brought to market. Thank you for your attention, and we look forward to seeing you in our next module. See you next time.